Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. Thank you so much for joining me today. First up, I am taking you inside of Gaslight Playhouse to learn all about their monumental year and their upcoming production of Big Fish. Then it's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and today we're discussing Social Security tax and how that could be changed with the upcoming legislation. And later, it's epic discounts at epic prices. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Gaslight Playhouse. If you love performing arts like I do, then I'm so thrilled to take you inside of Gaslight Playhouse Community Theater. They are kicking off an exciting production this upcoming weekend called Big Fish, as they are celebrating 50 years in the community of Kendallville. As you can see behind me, they are setting up and preparing for this production that will take place on July 25th through the 27th. And I'm going to take you on the inside, talk with their director and two of their lead actors. And you're invited. Let's do it. I am now joined by Craig Monk, who is the founder of Gaslight Playhouse and director of Big Fish. Also, Abby King-Cole, who is the female lead, and Todd Freimeyer, who is the male lead. Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Well, I'm so thrilled to talk to you today about your big production that's coming up, but also about this historic moment for Gaslight. You all are celebrating 50 years. So that's a huge accomplishment. Yeah, so start off, Craig, by just giving us a bit of an overview and a little bit of history about your company.
Okay, well, we are a community theater, and we started 50 years ago, and ironically, right here in this very venue, we started with a production of Brigadoon. Okay. Then over the years, we have been in multiple venues. We've played, oh my gosh, we played the Chamber of Commerce and restaurants and the high school theater. And when the CLC opened here 3 years ago, it became our permanent home. So we are thrilled after 50 years to now have a permanent home here at the CLC.
Yeah, and the Strauss Theater is so beautiful and historic within itself. So talk to me just a little bit about why you all wanted to create a theater here in Kendallville.
That's kind of a funny story. I promised the community, I was a high school theater, and I promised the community that when I got my master's degree done, we would start a community theater. And I think we just had lots of talent in this town, and we needed an outlet for all that talent. Little did I know it was going to last 50 years.
Exactly. And so this upcoming weekend, the 25th through the 27th, is Big Fish. And so, Abby, why don't you start off by giving us an overview about the production, but don't give away too much because we want people to come out and watch you.
Big Fish is really about Edward Bloom, who is the character that Todd is playing. And in Big Fish, he has a very difficult time connecting with his son, and he is a teller of tales, and his son is much more black and white as a person. So throughout the entire show, they are trying to find a way to connect and build that gap. And my character, as the wife and the mom, is trying to help bridge that gap between the two of them. And then by the end, you would have to wait and see what happens with those tall tales. But it's a beautiful story about love and loss, and it's pretty.
It's pretty.
It's a pretty,
I like
it's a pretty story.
It is pretty, yeah.
And of course, behind us, we see the production being set up, and so much hard work is going into this play. So Todd, just kind of give us a little behind the scenes experience. What has it been like to prepare for a role like this?
It's daunting. It's a pretty heavy role. There's a lot of singing. There's a lot of words to say in it. But it's been a joy. Our cast here. How many do we have in it now?
About 22.
About 22 cast members in it. And then we have a choreographer that came in and worked with us. Because we got several production numbers and everything. So it's certainly its own undertaking outside of even the acting and the singing that goes on with the set. We've got projection, animation going on. So there's an array of all sorts of theater magic techniques that go into this.
Yeah, theater magic. And so Craig, with you being the director, let's talk a little bit about your vision, from your vantage point as you're kind of seeing all the pieces come together to put on just that perfect production.
Okay, we've kind of taken a different look at this. Ironically, my wife and I were in Chicago the very first night that Big Fish was ever seen by the public, and it was even announced that they may stop the show. They didn't, and that was 10 years ago. I didn't know that much about the show. My wife kids me that I didn't even get it, but then we kind of all fell in love with it. And a year ago, Todd came to me and said, let's celebrate 50 years together. He's a former board member here. And I said, okay. And he goes, let's do Big Fish. And I said, yeah. But little did I know that our music director, who is John Claudy, also loved the show too. So all of us kind of fell in love with the show. And then it was my brainchild that it's all fantasy, so why not do some animation?
Yeah.
So we contacted Huntington University, and Huntington University has created all the animation for the show. So and we think we're one of the first theaters in Northeast Indiana to combine live theater with animation. And it's really cool. Really cool.
It sounds cool, like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience.
It is kind of.
Yeah. And so, Abby, with being an actress, how is it performing for a company that has so much experience in history and also bringing this new show here that hasn't been done before?
It's exciting, and I have been part of this community my whole life. I'm not an actress by trade. I'm an elementary school teacher by trade. But I'm an actress in the evenings when I get the chance. But I have known people in this community who are part of this company for years and years and years. I mean, since I was just a little girl.
Yeah.
Craig, he used me as an extra for shows when I was in an elementary school. I was on the stage for Gaslight Playhouse. So it's been a really cool kind of full circle thing for me to get to be here for the 50th season. Some of the people working on our set are people who were part of Gaslight 40 and 50 years ago, which it's fantastic. And it's always exciting to do something new for the community.
Yeah, and so Todd, Craig mentioned that you were on the board and now you've crossed over. Were you an actor previously, or is this your first time dabbling?
No, I've done quite a bit. Quite a bit of acting. But I was on the board for a while. I started in Gaslight, I don't know how many years ago.
When you were little,
I was in Annie Get Your Gun, I believe was the first time I was actually on stage in one of the productions that was out at Flora Hall. So, and I was very young, 9, 10, maybe 10 years old, maybe 11.
And what he's not telling you is we really stole him from Fort Wayne, because he now does lots of theater in Fort Wayne, but it was his idea to come back to his hometown to help celebrate 50 years, and we love that idea.
Yeah. So what's your vision for 50 more years as you move forward?
I don't have a vision for 50 years. They might have a vision for 50 years.
I don't know.
But one thing, our theater is growing. We have a cast from 14 different communities in this show, from Elkhart to Warsaw to Decatur to Angola and Fort Wayne. And it's amazing that all these people came from all over Northeast Indiana this summer to be in Big Fish.
Wow. Well, we cannot wait. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
And if you would like more information about Gaslight Playhouse, we'll have their website listed below. Come on out to support their production of Big Fish, which is taking place July 25th through the 27th here in Kendallville. We'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Gaslight Playhouse.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Enjoy fun in the sun on Living Local 15. Become a tourist in your own city. Visit your favorite spots and have some fun with me. From kayaking to rappelling off a building, I show you ways to have an adventure in Northeast Indiana every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15. So join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams weekdays at 9 on WANE 15 and catch past episodes on WANE.com.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and today we're going to continue our conversation discussing the big beautiful bill and how it can impact you and your finances. And joining me today is Caleb Doan, the Vice President. Hello, Caleb.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so last time we spoke about how the big beautiful bill really extended tax cuts that were set in 2017.
Yep.
And so now we're going to talk about Social Security tax. And essentially, the framework of it is part of the bill. It was announced like no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Did that happen?
So yeah, the taxes on Social Security, the tax laws around it did not change with this bill. What did happen is that there's an additional what they're calling senior bonus deduction that people over the age of 65 can take. And so while it doesn't directly impact Social Security, the idea of it is that it's going to lower your taxable income for people over 65 as long as they're within certain income limits, and kind of in a roundabout way reduce your overall taxes and save you money on taxes, even though it's not directly for Social Security.
So when would they feel that impact? Like at what point? Is it when they file their taxes? Is it at the end of the year? How does that work?
Yeah, so it takes place starting in 2025 for the 2025 tax year, which is good that they're getting it kind of early here. So certainly people might get a little bit more of a return at the end of the year, but of course your taxes throughout the year is kind of a bit of a guessing game. So you're withholding a certain amount on your income, but you never know exactly what your income is going to be at the end of the year. So you kind of settle up when you do your taxes there. I imagine if people are getting too much in refunds, they can just have less withheld from their taxes next year, and then they're getting that cash flow throughout the year, which can be a really good thing. What the senior bonus is an extra $6,000 deduction per taxpayer for those who are over the age of 65 within certain income limits. So basically you would still be able to take the normal standard deduction or the itemized deduction, and then you'll get an extra $6,000 per taxpayer to write off.
Okay. And so now I know we're about to go through these numbers and the halves of ages and all of that,
exactly.
Caleb. Okay, so who qualifies?
Yeah. So the people that qualify are those who are over 65 first, and then the income limits for a single filer is $75,000 of modified adjusted gross income. For joint filers, it's double that, $150,000.
That's the max that they can make?
If you make under that, you get the full $6,000 deduction per taxpayer. If you make over that, it starts getting reduced a little bit. And then I think it's fully phased out at like $175,000 for single filers and like $250 for joint filers. So if you're somewhere within that range, then it'll be less than the $6,000. If you're a joint filer making over $250,000, you wouldn't get any extra deduction there. So it's certainly aimed at people who are in kind of the lower to mid tax brackets, giving them an extra break on their taxes. Okay,
and so starting this year, like filing for the 2025 taxes, if anyone is 65 and older, makes $75,000 or less as a single filer, $150,000 or less as a joint filer, they get that full $6,000 credit added back when they file.
I guess one little change, instead of a credit, it's a deduction. And so, credit is typically the government actually just giving you, the $6,000. The deduction, you get to write it off of your income. So I mean, if you're, a joint filer and you each get it, so $12,000 total. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, 22% of, that $12,000 would be a little bit over $2,500 as a reduction in the actual taxes that you're paying there, which is certainly a nice little benefit, right? It's an extra $2,500 in your pocket at the end of the year when you're filing the taxes, which can be a great thing. I'd say, different people are, talking about how it's not actually reducing Social Security tax, which is correct. At the same time, though, if I'm getting $1 from the government, to some extent, I don't really care whether it's from Social Security or whether it's from a different, bucket. $1 is still $1. But at the end of the day, there's still going to be people who are paying taxes on Social Security. There's people who weren't paying taxes on Social Security prior to this legislation. So it's kind of aimed in an indirect way just to reduce overall taxes.
And so as people gear up, I know that this just got rolled out, so I'm not sure if these details are available, but what do people have to do to apply this? Is it something that automatically gets added as a bonus, or do they have to take all these steps and have to be in the know to be able to get it?
Yeah. So I mean, certainly if you file your taxes with a CPA, they're going to know exactly, what to do on this and who qualifies. But even if you're self-preparing and you're doing it on TurboTax or something, all that software gets updated every single year with the new legislation that gets passed. So I would certainly imagine that you're going to be prompted. You have to input what your date of birth is, and it knows what your modified adjusted gross income is. So it's likely going to automatically apply all this, even if you're self-filing.
Yeah. Okay. So final question: is this change permanent?
Yeah. So this one is not permanent.
Okay.
So this, I think, lasts from 2025 through 2028 tax years. After that, it's set to expire. So you'll no longer get the senior bonus, $6,000 additional deduction per taxpayer. While it's here, certainly worth taking advantage of.
2025, 2028. So this is the time to be 65.
Yeah, exactly.
The time to be alive. I love it.
Yeah, it's a bummer if you turn 65 in 2029.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Caleb. I look forward to continuing this conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their website and phone number listed below. This is why a financial advisor is so important. They can break down all of these details and stay in the know so that you know. And I look forward to seeing you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Join me, Jessica Williams, on Living Local 15 every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams on WANE 15.
Welcome to Epic Discounts by BestReviews.com. I am Ashley Howard. I want you to take out your phone and scan the QR code and get ready to save big. Today's lineup is just going to blow you away, so let's jump right in. First up, the Ninja Creamy Ice Cream Maker. If you've ever wanted to create your own ice cream, sorbet, or gelato at home, this is the machine for you. Just freeze your base, pop it in, and enjoy rich, creamy frozen treats in minutes. We tested it in the Best Reviews testing lab, and it is clear to see why everyone on social media is just raving about it. Let's keep enjoying that summer weather with the sounds and sights of the outdoors with the Net View by Bird 5 Smart Bird Feeder. If you are a bird lover, this is a must-have. This innovative bird feeder uses AI technology to identify over 6,000 bird species, sending you a notification every time a bird visits. It also features a built-in camera so you can watch the birds up close through your smartphone. Next, the brand new Apple iPad Air 11-inch, powered by the M3 chip. Built for Apple Intelligence, it includes 256 gigabytes of storage, Wi-Fi, a 12-megapixel front and back camera, Touch ID, and all-day battery life. It's light as a feather and powerful enough for creative pros, students, and everyone in between. And speaking of those students, parents of the high school class of 2025 or current college students, many colleges want that first tuition payment by Friday. If grants or federal loans don't cover everything, Scan the QR code or head to money.com to compare lenders and start the application process. Most students apply with a parent cosigner to lock in lower rates. But here's a detail that parents are going to appreciate. Once eligible, your student can apply for cosigner release, which takes your name off the loan. You can fund up to 100% of school certified costs, tuition, housing, even books with no application fees. Visit money.com, click the banner, and finish the 3-minute application and lock in your rate before the Friday deadline. Let's get a look at all of our products and services for the season. Head to epicdiscounts.com or scan the QR code on your screen and get ready to scan, shop, and save with Epic Discounts by Best Reviews.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.